Okay, here we go. Do you want to table it up what this is about?
Let's do it after we watch it.
Okay, we're going to watch and then follow up. Here we go.
You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you please regain order of your committee?
Order. You agree to strike your words?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
agree.
Ms. Greene agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
needs to
recognizes
apologize. No. She
Perry.
needs to
Okay,
apologize.
hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Greene
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Perry.
apologizing.
Now let's go.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
That right there, that's classic.
280 house cleaning.
I don't.
You have the opportunity to watch the whole thing. You really didn't want.
Big,
It went in.
the
It went
dean, on your way out, your thoughts.
This decorum, the lack of decorum, the lack of respect is never been more evident than if Lauren Boebert had been involved as well. That would have been the only other thing that would have added to this, because this right here, that sister from Texas, she doesn't play. When she said "baby girl," hold up, I mean,
That was AOC saying "baby girl." Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
Greene.
I'll
Oh
toss
my
it,
God.
yeah.
Well, the bottom
No,
line
that
is,
was AOC.
AOC said that?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. She was in there as well. And this is a subcommittee, and the white leadership in the committee had no idea what to do. They didn't know how to handle the black woman, the white woman, the Hispanic woman. They didn't know how to handle any of them, and that actually is a good thing, and it shows to me that women should be in these chair positions as opposed to some of these backward ass men.
Well, those women were definitely moving much faster than that man that was with the gavel, because he said, "What now?
He said, what the huh?
Wait, huh? What?
What happened? I don't understand."
How did I lose control?
I didn't know what was said.
I'm very culturally competent and wouldn't even know how to handle all that. I'm like, man.
Bleach blonde, butch body. I said, "Okay, okay."
Did she say butch body?
Which body?
He said,
She said,
She
"What?"
said, what?
And she did it in a question.
It's a question.
She did it in a
Which
question.
ass
I
body?
understand your ruling. So here's an example.
Like, what?
Oh, my word.
No, they. Mother Helen said, no, they didn't.
No, they did. They did, and they kept going. And
they
it
kept
got
going. They had to
it got
cut
a
it
little
off.
more spicy. I think like one of the I think the madam from Texas might have said, "Now when I slap the shit out of her, y'all gonna be wondering." I'm pretty sure that it went pretty far. It went pretty deep.
I want to take you to Texas.
Yeah,
Understand there's a pardon.
there is a part of
There
it.
was this whole Black Lives Matter situation and conviction.
Yes.
Anyway, the governor just pardoned.
Yes, Daniel Perry has been pardoned and he is now out of prison. Yes, absolutely. He went to a Black Lives Matter protest. He shot and killed someone that was in support of the Black Lives Matter protest. And at the recommendation of the Parole and Pardon Board, which by Texas law, the governor cannot pardon anyone unless they get a recommendation, that recommendation was to pardon Daniel Perry for his 25-year sentence. And interestingly enough, the Texas governor influenced this review by the pardon board. He was the one that said expedite it.
So the white guy at the Black Lives Matter protest gets shot by the white guy and gets convicted. And then the parole board says, nah, let him out. And then does this make sense, Big T?
Well, yeah, in America it does. And it does, especially in Texas. This is a case where, yes, the Black Lives Matter protester allegedly had a gun as well, they say. But he was found guilty by a jury of his peers,
Right.
as they say to us when we go to trial. A jury of his peers looked at all those circumstances. And they're not prone in Texas to do stuff for liberally, if you will. So
Okay.
you can't blame it on the liberal court.
Right.
And them folks said he was wrong, and he gave him 23 years.
And he just got a
what the
pardon.
Not only did he pardon, they made sure to emphasize, and the language was really interesting. He received his full civil rights, including his gun card-carrying abilities.
Right.
Well,
Carry a pistol.
speaking of pardons, Medine, I got to ask you in the presence of these black women a very serious question.
Yes.
Because I'm going to take you to Maryland,
There's
Baltimore.
so much going on.
No. I gotta ask you. I gotta go.
Let's go to Maryland.
I gotta
Let's
go to Maryland
Let's go
for
to
a
Baltimore.
second.
Yeah, let's go to Baltimore.
I want to go to Baltimore for a quick second because a pardon takes place in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The blacks are asking Biden, who was elected
Yeah.
by black women,
Right.
to pardon the sister prosecutor DA
In Maryland, yes.
in Maryland,
Maryland
who
Mosby.
took some of her own money.
Her own money.
She took
From
some of
her
her
own
own money from
Yeah.
her own account,
Yeah. 2 counts of perjury, facing 40 years in prison.
but she had prosecuted police in Maryland.
Yeah.
And then she also got a $5,000 loan from her husband.
Right.
This is all their own money.
All their own money.
She facing 40 years.
40 years, 2 counts of perjury. Yeah.
Is
That's-
Biden going to pardon that sister? And I got some more questions before we even go there.
I don't think if there's any kind of pardon that'll happen, it'll happen really close to the election. Really close to the election.
We as a people shouldn't have to go to the president of the United States for assistance in such a petty attack charge that nobody has ever even been charged with. Why is this the presidential thing? And so if you're a prosecutor and you got these black women prosecutors, you got Fani, you got this sister Mosby, you got the vice president of the United States of America. There ain't no sister that's going to stand up and say, hold up a second, you're not going to do her like that. We ain't taking it all the way up this line. These prosecutors got prosecutorial discernment. And they could look and say, yeah, but we're not doing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll hold the tension with you there. Like, there's something to be said about how easy it is for people to navigate this country in their white skin, even after you've murdered someone. And I'm borrowing from myself, and now I have to go to jail for 40 years. So, yeah, I'll hold the tension there to where we do need to ensure that, just like with Stephanie Hancock being shown this picture of, this is your son.
Yeah.
And she pushes it back like, nah, I'm not here for that, right? So we definitely have to grapple with that, and we do have to have that conversation. And, I mean, there's just layers. I think there's layers to the answer of the question. There is this strong black woman label that is oftentimes leveraged when, I didn't show up for you, right?
She's being attacked.
Yeah, I agree.
Clearly.
100%. There is also
From in her own office.
Right. And there's these spaces of assimilation that people, like black people that have, quote, I don't believe in that term power, but when they have, quote, power, they start to assimilate and align themselves with the same people that they were fighting against for us to believe that you belonged in that position. And so there's a lot that we have to grapple with and hold as it pertains to the way we show up for each other. So yeah, I don't think it's cool that people didn't show up for her. I do know that people are showing up for her. They've shown up for her in recent times.
People she don't know.
People that she knows and doesn't know.
No, she said, I didn't know these people.
That was then, Brother Jeff.
Then, but now, there's a lot of things that are happening now. But I mean, again, holding it, right? Because we like to hold the tension, and that's what we need to do. So there is a story that's there when she was there. There wasn't anybody behind her, and that's a story that we should really be thinking about and being thoughtful as we continue to watch black people navigate in this country where we're not getting the pardon when we murder someone. We're actually getting the hand. It took a global movement for a police officer to get a trial, and he murdered George Floyd right there on live for all of us to see. It took a movement for Elijah McClain to be a name that we actually can call upon, right? So we don't have the opportunity to live in our beautiful black skin authentically, and I do hold that tension.
And I think that with this case, there's so many layers with this thing. I heard her say on the interview that once the judge once some foundation was laid, she said, I thought there was nothing for me to even say after that. This thing would be dropped.
Yeah, that's what you thought.
But it's a federal case. So a federal case is much different than a state case.
Right.
So somebody can't intervene.
Right.
It's a federal case. And once there's a conviction in a federal case, your only Your only recourse is appeal and that president. That's it. It's federal. And I don't care how many big wigs she had with her. There's nothing they can do. But my bigger question is this, because we do this to our community all the time. Because a lot of times our folks have no choice but to use
Public defender.
public defenders. Why in Sam Hill does she have a public defender? Now, that's the question I got.
All of it.
That's the question I got.
Now, all these black attorneys, all these black organizations,
she's a major
all of these
prosecutor. She's a major player.
by herself with a public
and
defender.
She by herself
Well,
with a
that's-
public DA.
Yeah, but that's
What?
because she didn't nobody was on record. Like you have to have somebody there in that initial hearing until there's a legal presence on record. You do and that, but that is something.
Yeah,
that
but
she
it went
probably
all the way
could've got
through
in
with
front of
the-
that.
Well, she's a
Yeah.
prosecutor.
It
She
went-
probably didn't need nobody.
It went all the way through. So I get you on the beginning, right?
Yeah.
It's all
But
wrong.
what's it like? Oh, this train is rolling.
Right.
Well, I could tell you when you start seeing things going like this, you better get jumping. when it starts, you better be jumping.
Fix your form, brother Jeff. Fix your form. Fix your form. That is not good form.